In the deep, suffocating heat of the Indian mangroves, something is watching. You won't see it. You won't hear it. But the very air around you has changed. The birds have gone silent. The monkeys have fled to the highest canopy. You are standing in the presence of a 500-pound shadow, a creature that doesn't just hunt. It dominates the very concept of fear. This is the Bengal tiger. But today, we aren't looking at its stripes. We are looking inside its mind. We are decoding the Saffron Assassin, the ghost that conquered the jungle and nearly broke the spirit of man. Imagine a machine weighing a quarter of a ton, built entirely of muscle and twitch fibers. Now imagine that machine moving across a floor covered in dry, brittle teak leaves without making a single sound. This is the first miracle of the tiger. Evolution didn't just give the tiger claws, it gave it specialized soft tissue silent pads. These paws act like high-tech shock absorbers, muffling the vibration of the ground. When a tiger stalks, it doesn't just walk, it flows like liquid fire. The tiger's eyes are the most expensive jewels in the jungle. They have the largest eyes of any carnivore. At night, a specialized layer called the tapetum lucidum reflects light back through the retina, giving them a vision 6 times more powerful than a human's. When a tiger locks eyes with its prey, it isn't just looking, it is calculating. It is measuring wind speed, distance, and the exact millisecond required to snap a spine. The stripes are not just patterns, they are a glitch in the visual matrix of the jungle. In the dappled sunlight of the forest, the vertical black lines break up the tiger's silhouette so perfectly that even from 10 feet away, a day sees only shadows and grass. This is visual warfare. The tiger is a master of the blind spot. It always approaches from the rear, staying in the dead zone of the prey's vision until it is too late. The kill is a masterpiece of biological engineering. The tiger doesn't bite randomly. It targets the throat or the back of the neck. With a bite force of 1,050 psi, nearly double that of a lion, it can crush a vertebrae or suffocate a massive cow in seconds. It uses its weight to pin the animal down, using its retractile claws like grappling hooks that never let go. But physical strength is only half the story. To understand why the tiger is truly feared, we must look at its voice. A sound so low, it can literally paralyze a human heart. As we move deeper into the shadows, we encounter the tiger's most terrifying weapon. Not its teeth, but its roar. Most predators announce their presence with a roar that echoes, but the tiger carries a weapon that is far more sinister. It is called infrasound. While a human ear can hear frequencies between 20 Hz and 20 kHz, the tiger's roar contains frequencies below 20 Hz. Sounds so deep they are invisible to our ears but felt by our internal organs. Scientific studies have shown that these low-frequency vibrations have a physical effect on the nervous system of the prey. When a tiger lets out a full-throated roar, the infrasonic waves strike the listener's body, causing a momentary freezing effect. It is a biological EMP, electromagnetic pulse, that jams the brain's ability to signal the muscles to run. For those few seconds of paralysis, the prey is a sitting duck. This isn't just a sound, it's a shockwave designed to shut down the victim's flight or fight response before the physical attack even begins. But the tiger doesn't just use sound to kill, it uses it to navigate. In the dense jungles of Southeast Asia or the thick mangroves of the Sundarbans, visibility is often less than 5 feet. Here, the tiger's ears become its primary radar. Unlike humans, who have fixed ears, a tiger can rotate its ears independently, like satellite dishes, to pinpoint the exact origin of a sound, even the rustle of a bird 300 meters away. Inside those ears are specialized tufts of hair that filter out the noise of the wind, allowing the tiger to focus purely on the heartbeat or the mechanical movement of its target. This auditory precision allows the Saffron Assassin to build a 3D map of the forest in total darkness. It knows exactly where you are, even if it hasn't seen you yet. Sound isn't the only way they communicate across vast distances. Tigers are solitary, but they are never out of touch. They leave behind a complex chemical diary for other tigers. By using a mixture of scent marking, urine, and deep claw gashes on the bark of marking trees, a tiger communicates its age, its health, and its territorial boundaries. If a rival enters another's territory, it doesn't need to see the owner to know it's in danger. One sniff of a marking tree tells the intruder exactly how powerful the reigning king is. It's a silent conversation that prevents unnecessary bloodshed, but also a constant reminder that this land is occupied by a lethal force. Why does the tiger roar? It isn't just a scare, It's a tool of psychological warfare. A lion roars to tell the world where it is, but a tiger roars to tell the forest that it is everywhere. The resonance of a tiger's roar can travel up to 2 miles through thick vegetation. To a human lost in the jungle, that sound is omnidirectional. It feels like it's coming from the front, the back, and the ground beneath your feet all at once. This disorientation is the tiger's greatest psychological edge. It breaks the spirit of the intruder, forcing them into a state of panic, which usually leads to a fatal mistake. But sound and scent are only the outer layers of the tiger's mystery. To truly understand why this animal is feared above all others, we must look at how it manages its empire. Because a tiger is not just a hunter, it is a solitary general, a tactician who manages 100 square kilometers of territory with a memory that rivals an elephant and a strategy that outclasses the pride mentality of a lion. The master tactician, while the lion is often called the king of the jungle, it is a social monarch, relying on a pride for support and hunting. The tiger, however, is a solitary general. It is the CEO of its own 100 square kilometer empire. To survive alone as a 500-pound predator, physical strength is not enough. You need a strategic mind that functions like a grandmaster in a game of biological chess. A tiger doesn't just wander the forest. It patrols with a purpose. It memorizes every trail, every waterhole, and every ambush point within its territory. This spatial memory is so advanced that a tiger can navigate its entire domain in total darkness, knowing exactly where the ground dips and where the cover is thickest. The intelligence of a tiger is most visible during the stalk. Unlike other predators that chase their prey into exhaustion, the tiger is a low-energy, high-precision hunter. It calculates the profit versus risk ratio of every kill. If a deer is too far or the wind direction is wrong, the tiger will wait for hours. It understands the physics of sound and wind. It will wait for the wind to blow toward it, carrying its scent away from the prey. It will wait for the noisy alarm calls of the jungle to settle. Recent studies suggest that tigers also utilize deceptive tactics. In some regions, tigers have been observed mimicking the calls of prey animals, like the bray of a somber day, to lure them closer into the thickets. This is not just instinct. This is cognitive processing. It is the ability to understand how another species thinks and then use that knowledge as a trap. Managing a territory isn't just about fighting, it's about logistics. A male tiger's territory often overlaps with the smaller territories of several females, but he must keep all other males out. To do this, he creates a vat of scent around his borders. But here's where the strategy gets deep. A tiger doesn't mark his whole territory every day. That would be impossible. Instead, he focuses on high-traffic zones, the mountain passes, the river crossings, and the animal highways. By strategically placing his scent bombs in these locations, he creates a psychological barrier that makes his presence feel constant, even when he is miles away. He is a master of the force multiplier, making one individual feel like an entire army. Perhaps the most terrifying aspect of the tiger's intelligence is its memory. Tigers have been known to remember individual humans, specific vehicles, and even the exact location of a trap for years. If a tiger fails a hunt because of a specific mistake, it rarely repeats that mistake. It learns, it adapts, and it evolves within its own lifetime. This is why a problem tiger is so hard to catch. They learn the patterns of the rangers, the sound of the jeep engines, and the smell of the tranquilizer darts. They aren't just animals reacting to stimuli. They are sentient beings with a long-term memory that keeps them one step ahead of the most dangerous predator on Earth, us. Being a solitary general comes with a heavy price. There is no one to watch the tiger's back while it sleeps. There is no one to share the hunt with if it gets injured. This constant state of high alert has forged a psyche that is incredibly resilient. The tiger lives in a state of calculated paranoia. Every snap of a twig is analyzed. Every change in the wind is noted. This psychological intensity is what makes a tiger the ultimate solitary force of nature. It is a life of absolute power, but also of absolute isolation. But what happens when this intelligence turns against humanity? When the solitary general decides that the most efficient prey isn't a deer, but the villagers living on the edge of the forest? As we move into the darkest chapter of our story, we look at the legendary man-eaters, the tigers that stopped being ghosts and became nightmares, and the psychological trauma they left behind in the history of mankind. For centuries, the people living on the edges of the Indian jungles worshipped the tiger as a forest deity, a Vahana, or the goddess. But there's a thin, bloody line between a god and a monster. What happens when the Saffron Assassin stops hunting deer and starts hunting us? This is the darkest chapter in the history of the wild. A man-eating tiger is not a natural occurrence. It is a glitch in the system, a breakdown of the ancient treaty between humans and the jungle. Most tigers avoid humans at all costs. To them, we smell strange, we walk upright, and we are noisy. But when a tiger is injured, perhaps by a porcupine quill embedded in its paw, a broken canine from a fight, or a gunshot wound from a poacher, it loses its ability to hunt fast-moving prey like the Samba day. In that moment of desperation and agonizing hunger, the tiger discovers the most vulnerable animal in the forest, the human. Once a tiger realizes how slow, weak, and defenseless a human is, the psychological barrier is broken forever. It no longer sees a strange, upright creature. It sees a soft-skinned meal. To understand the scale of this horror, we must look back at the early 1900s. The most lethal man-eater in recorded history was not a lion or a leopard. It was a Champawat tiger. This single female Bengal tiger is credited with an incredible, terrifying 436 confirmed kills. She began her reign of blood in Nepal, killing 200 people before the Nepalese army was called in to drive her across the border into India. For years, she haunted the Kumaon district. Entire villages were abandoned. People stopped leaving their huts even during the day. The local economy collapsed. This wasn't just a predator. It was a ghost that could enter a locked hut, snatch a woman from a group of woodcutters, and vanish before a single scream could be fully heard. The psychological trauma she inflicted on thousands of people created a culture of fear that lasted for generations. She was so intelligent that she learned the schedules of the local postmen and woodcutters, waiting in ambush at the exact time they would pass through the forest. When a tiger becomes a man-eater, its strategy changes. It becomes a psychological predator. It begins to understand human habits better than we understand them ourselves. It learns that humans are communal. If one is taken, the others will panic. It uses that panic. In the Sundarbans, the world's largest mangrove forest, tigers are known to be naturally more aggressive. Hey, the local fishermen wear masks on the backs of their heads. Why? Because the tiger is a master of the blind spot. It will only attack if it thinks you aren't looking. By wearing a mask on the back of their heads, the humans try to trick the tiger into thinking it has been spotted. This mind game is a testament to the tiger's intelligence. It proves that the tiger is constantly analyzing our faces, our eyes, and our awareness. The era of the man-eaters gave rise to the legendary hunter-turned-conservationist Jim Corbett. Corbett's accounts provide the most chilling details of the serpent slayer-turned-manslayer. He described the Pana man-eater and the fact man-eater not as evil villains, but as tragic figures, noble kings forced into a life of crime by human interference or injury. Corbett noted that a man-eater becomes infinitely more cunning than a normal tiger. They lose their fear of fire, they ignore the sound of drums, and they can track a hunter just as easily as a hunter tracks them. In his journals, Corbett described nights spent in makhans, tree platforms, where the silence of the jungle was so heavy it felt like it was crushing his chest. He could feel the tiger's eyes on him from the darkness, even when he couldn't see a single stripe. This is a ghost effect. The feeling that the tiger is an omnipresent force, a shadow that has no physical form until the very second it strikes. Today, the man-eater phenomenon is rare, but the conflict is more intense than ever. As cities expand into the forest, the buffer zones are disappearing. A tiger doesn't know where the national park ends and the village begins. When a tiger kills livestock, it is often poisoned or killed by angry villagers. This is the modern tragedy. The solitary general is running out of space to retreat. Every time a tiger encounters a human, it is a high-stakes gamble. If the tiger wins, a family loses a provider. If the human wins, the world loses one of the last few thousand kings of the wild. This blood-stained history leads us to one final, ultimate question. In a world dominated by technology and concrete, can the Saffron Assassin truly survive? Or are we witnessing the final sunset of a legend? In our final chapter, we look at the future of the tiger, the battle for its soul, and the legacy it leaves behind in the heart of every human who has ever looked into the eyes of a ghost. We have traveled through the silence of the stalk, the terror of the roar, the brilliance of the general, and the blood-stained pages of history. Now, we stand at the edge of the horizon. The sun is setting over the Indian grasslands, casting long, orange shadows through the sal trees. In this fading light, the Saffron Assassin appears one last time. But he isn't hunting. He is surviving. For over 2 million years, the taiga has been the undisputed architect of the Asian wilderness. It has seen civilizations rise and fall. It has watched empires crumble into dust while it remained the silent master of the shadows. But today, the greatest predator the earth has ever produced is facing an enemy it cannot fight with claws or teeth: the concrete tide. As our cities expand, the taiga's world is shrinking. What was once an unbroken continent of emerald green is now a series of tiny, isolated islands of forest, surrounded by a sea of humanity. The solitary general is being cornered. This is the hidden tragedy of the modern taiga. It's not just about space, it's about blood. When forests are cut off from each other by highways, dams, and cities, the taiga becomes a prisoner in its own home. A young male, ready to find his own territory, can no longer travel hundreds of miles to find a mate from a different bloodline. He is trapped. This leads to genetic isolation. When tigers are forced to breed within a small, closed group, their DNA weakens. The masterpiece of evolution begins to fade. The immunity drops, the strength wavers, and the saffron ghost begins to lose its edge. We are witnessing the slow-motion dismantling of a biological miracle. Every time a highway cuts through a taiga corridor, we aren't just building a road. We are severing the veins of the jungle. Without the ability to move, to roam, and to mix, the taiga is a king without a kingdom, a legend with nowhere to go. Even within the protected walls of national parks, the shadow of the poacher looms large. In the dark corners of the global black market, a taiga is worth more dead than alive. Its bones are ground into medicines that have no proven scientific value. Its skin is sold as a trophy of a dead era. Its whiskers are kept as charms. This is the ultimate insult to the serpent slayer. A creature that can kill a king cobra and paralyze a forest with a roar is reduced to a commodity, a piece of illegal gold traded in back alleys. Every taiga lost to a poacher's trap is a hole in the fabric of the universe. When a mother taiga is killed for her skin, her cubs are left as orphans in a world that has no mercy for the weak. They never learned the anatomy of silence. They never learned the secret language of stripes. The lineage of 2 million years of hunting wisdom dies with them. But amidst this darkness, there is a flicker of hope. There are those who have dedicated their lives to keeping the saffron flame alive. Forest rangers who patrol the dense jungles in the middle of the monsoon, facing armed poachers and the very predators they protect. Scientists who use satellites to track the ghost movement, trying to rebuild the broken corridors of the past. In India, Project Taiga has become one of the most successful conservation stories in human history. We have realized that to save the taiga, we must save the forest. And to save the forest, we must save ourselves. Because the taiga is the umbrella species. When you protect the taiga's territory, you automatically protect the trees that give us oxygen, the rivers that give us water, and the thousands of smaller species that keep the planet's heart beating. The taiga is a guardian of our own survival. If the taiga dies, the jungle dies. And if the jungle dies, we are next. Imagine a world without the taiga. A forest where the birds don't have an alarm call because there is no one to fear. A world where the infrasonic vibration is replaced by the hum of machines. It would be a world without soul, a world without mystery. The taiga reminds us that we are still part of the wild. It reminds us that there are forces in this world that we cannot control and that we must respect. The Saffron Assassin is not just a predator. It is a symbol of the untamable spirit of Earth. As long as there is one taiga left in the tall grass, the world is still a place of wonder. As long as there is one roar echoing through the mangroves, the wild legacy is still alive. The final conclusion: high energy CTA, you have seen the ghost. You have heard the roar. You now know the secret to the Saffron Assassin. But the story doesn't end here. The future of this king is in our hands. We are the generation that will either save the legend or tell our children why it disappeared. If you believe the taiga belongs in the forest and not in a history book, then stand with us. Hit that subscribe button and join the Wild Legacy Tribe. Share this documentary with everyone who needs to see the power of the wild. Comment legend below to show your support for the Saffron King. This is our planet. This is their kingdom. This is Wild Legacy.